Reality recap.
Hi, Evelyn. Yes, I know you have the reunion. Yes, we have 2 more episodes. And then we have the reunion, of course.
I look like the slut. I look like a mom. She was like, you the one that look like you got a high body count hair. I fell the fuck out, y'all.
Candace, has Deborah reached out to you to apologize after the episode aired showing Chris did not flirt with her?
She wouldn't dare. She would get eaten for breakfast.
Oh boy.
No, she's doubling down.
Why would you go meet with Ray J without talking to Princess or letting her know why? Like, she's trying to justify that she told her after the fact and not supposed to make it.
What do you think of your ex-husband Jim coming out and saying you did not try to stop him from suing Shannon and Tamara?
That's a good question. Well, I mean, if his memory is a little foggy about what transpired back then, that's okay. However, he did admit that I had nothing to do with the...
Reality recap. Reality recap.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl V with Reality Recap. Happy Friday, Junior. We're here to talk about Love and Hiphop Atlanta. I hope you're having a great week. Let's take care of business before we get down to the tea. Make sure you are liking this video. Please hit that heart button, hit the thumbs up. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you missed this live or want to go back and see any of my other lives, pre-recorded shows, recapping all the trending reality TV shows are happening right now. Hit the link in my bio on Instagram or Facebook and on TikTok if you're following from there to subscribe to my YouTube channel or search on YouTube, Reality Recap 2876. We're streaming live right now across Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The chats are open for you to give me your thoughts on not last night's episode because I'm a day late, but Tuesday's episode of Love and Hiphop Atlanta. It was all right. It was a good episode. I have some thoughts. We're going to get into them. Before we do, I just want to share a little bit of Love and Hiphop Atlanta news. It was all over the internet today. I even reported on it as well that Erica Banks, a current Love and Hiphop star, was arrested late Wednesday night. She was on her way to a show in Houston. She arrived at Atlanta's airport. She put her Louis Vuitton bag up on the little x-ray scanner and they scanned the store. She had a little blicky. She had a little tutu they call Peggy Sue, a little Smith & Wesson she had in her bag. Now, she claims that, allegedly, that she didn't know that she had the blicky in the bag and that it was allegedly securities. So she was arrested and booked at Clayton County Jail. She was later released a few hours after. She will be expected to appear in court. So, yeah, she did put up a post letting everybody know that she's doing all right. But yeah, homegirl was arrested with the little blicky. I don't know what's going on there, but I'll keep you posted with the story. My mic don't want to stay up, but I believe you guys can hear me. It should be loud enough. I'm loud enough. But let's get into the episode. Bambi meets with Rashida and Kirk to talk about her infamous 11 disc song where she talked about Rashida having nothing to say about Kirk having 11 bitches. You know, y'all know the song, the one where she said that Scrappy got 11 baby mamas with only $11. Y'all know the famous, infamous diss song. So she went to sit down with them because Rashida and Kirk feeling like they just caught a stray in the song. I don't feel that way. I understand where Bambi came from. And she was woman enough to admit that she just felt hurt by how this whole 11 song came about, where basically we saw Spice talking to Scrap and Rashida and Kirk, and she said how Bambi only had 11 listeners on Spotify. And the way that Rashida and Kirk say that Bambi's family, I get they may have felt in the middle of it, but they didn't say anything to defend her. They didn't say, "Nah, that's not right. Let's not, let's not talk about her like that," or nothing. They were laughing, so they caught a stray in the song. But Bambi was woman enough to apologize and say that she, included them in the song because her feelings were hurt. I don't feel like Rashida or Kirk took any accountability. It was kind of like, well, y'all know Rashida laugh at everything. That's not an excuse, sir. But they, and Kirk saying like, well, y'all both my families. I understand not getting involved, but right is right and wrong is wrong, and saying like, where your loyalty at? Even if you got loyalty for the birth of them, it's a way to even maneuver that, navigate that and be like, all right, cool. That's how you feel. But chill out, chill out. So I don't know. They seem to have squashed their beef, and they even talked about, Rashida congratulated her on being engaged. They were asking like, "You ready to get married again already?" It was a weird conversation to me. Not even the conversation, but more so Bambi's confessional when she talked about the engagement, because she talked about the engagement as if it was her trial period to see if she wants to get married. I think she kind of seemed to think that it's cool that, well, every guy that I date wants to marry me. Not if it's not working out. That's not a flex. Love you, Bambi, but that is not a flex. So if they're not working out, why get engaged so soon and then say that that is your trial period to see if you want to move forward with the marriage? I think you might want to date a little bit longer before you decide that. I also think that Rayface, in my opinion, and I think further down in the episode we'll talk about when they met up and he's flying off to Atlanta, to Houston. We'll talk about that. But I felt like he was going so hard because he wanted to get in them panties. She wasn't sleeping with him allegedly at the beginning of their relationship, so that's why he buying all his jewelry. He giving promise rings. He proposing on her birthday. He was trying to get in them draws. And then he got in the draws, and then you see a shift later in the episode. It's not the same as it was the previous seasons when he was getting up and making speeches out in Mexico. I don't know. That's how I'm feeling. But yeah, it was just, I don't know. That was weird to me. You guys tell me your thoughts, but I thought that was really weird for her to use the engagement as the trial instead of just being in a relationship and getting to know him and, having at least a year, 2-year relationship before she decides to even move to engagement. But hey, to each his own. So that's what she decides to do, to use the engagement as a trial period. And if she doesn't see that things are going well, then she just won't move forward. That's what she said. I was like, well, at least she admits that there still could be an opportunity for her to walk away or that she won't get married. So I guess we'll give her some kudos there. Ashely, Zane's wife, she wants new boobs. I felt like listening to her, like, I don't know. I feel like all of the stars, they start to change their appearance when they get on these shows. I think internet criticism plays a huge part in that. People making fun of every little thing about you, picking you apart. I also think that she was hurt by, maybe not hurt, but mad, embarrassed by what Rashida said about her wigs. Y'all see she done stepped her wig game up. She got the little side part hangover, little wine curls going on. So I think that she may have been embarrassed by that and also other things. But again, too, she says she's a mom, she's breastfed, she wants to get her boobs lifted, and she wants, she goes without telling Zane to see the doctor, and she takes Erica Banks, the queen of the BBL and big boobs, but she takes her. I just felt like the internet and what Rashida said might be playing a bit of a role in that. We then have a strip club meetup. It's the side baby mamas and the mother-in-laws and granny-in-laws. So we see Shakira first. She's there at the strip club with Mama D. She's telling Mama D about the infamous pelvis slaps that we saw her do earlier in the season, where Scrappy was over there, and she telling him that he's a trick, and for his new girlfriend, he giving his new girlfriend racks while she getting pennies for her son. How he comes see her every night because she gonna spin around, flip it around, smack it, rub it down oh no. So she's gonna do all of that. And that's why he comes every time. He did admit, he said, hey, he stuck his D in the wrong place, but she got some good for JJ. That's what he had to say about it. But I don't know how I would feel having him talk about me like that. I just don't know, y'all. I don't know why my mic won't stay up, but I just don't know, y'all. I am very unclear. I reached out to Shakira because I really want to interview her. I want to get her side of the story and understand from her perspective. Because, okay, what it looks like on the outside looking in from my perspective is you were on a dating show with Scrappy, right? He did not choose you. You liked him. He did not choose you. He chose another girl. You have a threesome with him and that girl he chose, and you get pregnant and you decide to keep the baby. There never was a relationship ever. So I want to hear from her, like, what were those conversations like, text messages like leading up to the threesome? Like, because she seems to expect a lot from him when it was just that encounter. So were they messing around with each other before this threesome? Because the way it came out, because the other woman that he chose on the dating show was the one that exposed that she was pregnant in the first place. She said, like, this was just a threesome. She had to leave the threesome to go pick her child up from school. Shakira stayed behind, and boom, she's pregnant. That's how she explained it, the other woman. So I'm just trying to really understand. You uprooted your life, you moved to Atlanta, and you keep having these conversations with him like, I don't have any other family, you all I got, or you expecting Scrappy to do pretty much what he hasn't done in any other relationship we've seen on the show, with Diamond, with Erica, with Bambi, with Shay. I don't understand what she's expecting. Hey, Big Boss June, thank you for checking in. Yeah, I don't know what she's expecting for him. I really, really don't. I'm so confused. It's like I do. Her demeanor did come off as if she thought she could change his mind, or almost like fangirling out for a minute, and she thought she could change his mind and that they were going to be together. And because he asked her to move to Atlanta, he just wanted you to move to Atlanta because he wanted to be closer to his son, not because he wanted a relationship. And if you feel like he's not providing, or he's just using you for late night booty calls, why you keep doing it? So now she's mad on this show and talking a whole lot about his new girlfriend, Brittany the realtor, which she doesn't seem to mind whatever's being said on this show right now, or the rants, because Shakira has been ranting online saying she has receipts. If she keeps getting called a liar, that she's going to show the receipts. Bambi and Scrappy's daughter birthday was this past weekend, and Shakira saying she wasn't invited so that his girlfriend could be there. All of these things. And the girl with Brittany realtor, again, she ain't leaving them. They was in Puerto Rico this past week. So she ain't left them based on them dating and him then going to her house in the middle of the night. She's not leaving. Why you mad at her though? He wasn't never yours to begin with. So I just really want to understand from her. What's your thought process? What are the receipts that you're threatening to to expose? A lot of people are scared to come on my show. I don't know why. I really just I make a safe space, but I'm honest and I ask the questions that the people want to know. So we'll see. I did reach out twice now because I really, really want to understand her thought process. I do. But yeah. Also on the strip club meetup and her talking about that whole situation with Scrappy. What caught my attention is that she also mentioned that she was over Scrappy's house doing the girl's hair and he left and went on a date. Who hair was she doing? She was doing Bambi's daughter's hair. Does Bambi know that? Anybody clock that, T? Anybody clock that? Because I did. I said, "Oh Lord!" I was waiting for a response from Bambi, but I wonder if Bambi. No, I do know that Shakira. She's a hairdresser. She sells her own extensions, all of that. So I get that. But I was like, who the hell was she over there doing? I hope it was Amani here. I don't know. But I clocked that T and I'm waiting to see, if there's a response to that. But yeah, so she's telling Mama D all this stuff. Mama D is taking in the information. She's trying to figure out who is this new girlfriend that he's with because she hasn't been introduced yet. She said she did hear she was a realtor, and Shakira's saying she ain't no realtor. She sell bottles. She don't sell houses. Just really throwing a lot of venom at a girl that she never met and ain't did nothing to her. Didn't take a man from her, but she got a whole lot of venom for her. But then in the midst of that, Jasmine walks in, and she walks in with Rashida's mother, Miss Shirlene. We haven't seen her in a while. I love me some Miss Shirlene. I will never forget when she got in her car and ran over Kurt's dirt bike and it set on fire when he first was out in these streets in the hot tub with Bambi and Benzino in them. But we haven't seen her in a few. So she's back, purple hair. She's outside. She says, listen, they went through the drama. Jasmine and her are cool. She's funny. They hang out. Jasmine said that's her road dog. And Rashida did mention that they all went on vacation. Rashida has a vacation home in the Bahamas that she's actually renovating right now off of her bubblegum money. Let her tell it. That's what she said, honey. And she says that Jasmine and her son stayed in the house as well, but they were in another wing where, couldn't come to her side without her being aware of it. So, yeah, it seems like they're moving in a positive direction. About time. The baby damn near, he ain't a baby no more. So it's about time that they finally figured it out. But yeah, she was there with Miss Charlene. I also found it interesting. I believe the girl's name is Erica. I believe that's but the same girl that was with Jasmine in previous seasons that said, hey, I got a friend that don't want to come forward that says she's been messing with Mandy season. He's silencing her. I didn't know that she was London on the Tracks baby mama. I didn't know that because I really didn't look into her because it was kind of like you bringing this information forth for somebody that doesn't want to come forth or be on the show. So how do we believe it without any receipts about Mandices? I mean, there's other receipts, voice notes out there that we're going to get to in upcoming episodes. But yeah, I didn't know that she was London on the Tracks baby mama. Why she's still in the club? I think a lot of these plots and plans didn't go as they planned. She's London on the Track baby mama. Jasmine's still doing bottle service. She thought that she was, gonna get out the club off of Kirk. You got Shakira. She had her own business and stuff, but I think she thought she was gonna, come up and be with Scrappy, and it just didn't work out for them. Yikes on a bike. But it was also a little weird that Shakira, again, she was throwing so many shots and she was like, oh, London on the Track is your baby daddy? Really? Oh, he bigger than little Scrappy. Yeah, he real little. And I'm saying, that's your baby daddy. You chose him. You weren't sleeping with him. So ain't that, what is it? Birds of a feather flock together? So I'm trying to figure out, you trying to play him out, but you've been sleeping with him repeatedly and had a baby with him. So now you're trying to play him out and say London on the Track bigger than him. I don't know. She was throwing mad shade, but yeah, they are planning to go to Houston and support Erica Banks in one of her upcoming shows. They talked briefly. Jessica White was there as well. They talked briefly about Bambi and her being hurt and asked, she was asking Shakira, you got beef with Bambi? Why? And she said she doesn't. She was married to him and she respects him. She knows she went through a lot. And I was surprised to see after all the rants that Mama D has done online to say, you know what? I wish I could apologize to her. So I was like, that's pretty big of her that she would apologize to Bambi. I'm sure Bambi doesn't want to hear it at this point, but she said that she wished she could apologize and she realized, Scrappy is a monster that she created, you know? Well, she was out here pimping. This is the monster she created, so she's taking accountability for that. But yeah, then they get up on the stage with the dancers and stuff, living their best life. And yeah, also they talked about Erica Banks and going to the show. I mentioned that, but they also mentioned that she has a girlfriend, which she has already let us know she has a girlfriend. I don't know if she's still with that girl. I don't see her on her page, so you know how they do. Things are a little under wraps while things are filming, so you don't know, but it doesn't, in my opinion, it doesn't seem like they might still be together. I didn't see her by her side when she got out from, being arrested today or anything like that. So I don't know if her and this girl are still together, but they had a little scene together as well, playing a little whipped cream strawberry game. I had never heard of the game. When she said they was about to play one, I thought she was going to whip out Carisha Please. Not the case. They played a little whipped cream strawberry game, and she's getting closer to her, and she cried a little bit saying how much she thinks of her and how good she feels in the relationship. So good for her. Again, I don't think they still together, but good for her. We then see Bambi. She meets up with Ray Face, and there's some red flags. They have an argument. He ups and leaves and doesn't say anything, and he goes to Houston. You know, we know, or you should know, because if not, that means you're not following me at reality_recap on Instagram, Facebook, and all of the other channels, honey. But right before this season aired, there was some altercation that happened seemingly at Bambi's engagement party with Zell and Ray Face. Ray Face took to Instagram to talk about how Zell made accusations about him being a cheater or having a whole family. Ironically, it said that he has a whole family out in Houston. And that's where he seems to up and go when he's in arguments with Bambi. The streets was also saying that Rage Face, and I told you guys I had that reservation about him, that he was with Bambi for clout or to up his music career because he's a rapper as well. Don't know if that's true. Only he knows that, him and God. But I just found it ironic that those were the rumors floating. A picture of him with a woman that was said to be his wife. He says that's not his wife, but he didn't say he doesn't have one. He just said that one in that picture is not his wife. You got to read between the lines with these fools. So he does have a child, an older child, but it's said allegedly he has a family. So for her to say that he gets up and goes to to Houston without saying anything when they're in an argument was very interesting to me. But again, I would not be engaged with somebody that I've only been dating about 3 months. And she started to mention, he was over communicating at the beginning. He was always calling, checking in. Now he shuts down. She's not hearing from him. Yeah, girl. Because all of that he was doing is because you was following the Steve Harvey rule and you didn't sleep with him. Now he got the draws. He ain't interested. He not chasing you. He don't even want to get married, I don't think. Now, yeah, he took to Instagram after that whole altercation that we'll see play out on this show, most likely. He's saying that, she's a great person. He love her. He gonna miss it. He ain't say he was gonna fight for her though. He ain't say he was gonna try to get her back. He just said, I wish her well. I love her. I think she's a great person. He found his exit, if you ask me, through this beef with Zell. And he's saying that, yeah, Bambi chose Zell over me. Did she really? Is that possible? Yeah, it's possible, but I don't know. It just seemed like something if he wanted to try to resolve it, he could have did that from Instagram. Can't say what he does behind the scenes. Doesn't look like he fought much after that live to go back, get her back. So, yeah, I felt that way from the beginning. If you guys go back and check my recaps from the last season and when they were in Mexico and he was giving her the promise ring, I was saying yo, I don't know if he's in it for the right reasons. I don't know if he's going to stick around, and if she's really not sleeping with him. Men will do anything too. They'll lie to you, tell you they love you, just a hunch on you. So I don't know, but that's the impression I get of Ray Face. I don't think he's just this innocent guy. I really don't. But they kind of leave off the conversation. They hug and stuff, but he still looked like he wasn't beat. So we'll see the rest of that play out. We then get into Jock's family tragedy. I'm sorry, guys. I was just reading this comment. Says, thanks for checking in. Is it Boo Mac? On Facebook said, off topic, but I never knew what you look like. I watch your stuff all the time and you're beautiful. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I look raggedy today though, but I appreciate you giving me that boost of confidence. So also, what do you think about this Yandy mess? I think Mandisi should speak up for his wife like she acts. First of all, Boo. Is it Bo or Boo? I'm not sure. But I think that he shouldn't put her in this predicament to begin with. That's what I think. But yeah, if you're going to put her in this predicament and you had yourself out there to have these voice recordings come out, then you need to address it. You can't want to be in the public eye when it serves you and you getting checks off this show and you talking about how TikTok pays for your whole life. If you're going to be in the public light, then there's things you're going to have to publicly address. So your apology should be as loud as your disrespect. So he should speak on it. But furthermore, he should not have put her in this predicament to begin with. That's what I think. I do know that Yandy's hands are not clean either, allegedly. I saw the clip of the upcoming episodes, and it looks like we are going to get into this London, you know, um, fitness trainer that alleges that they had a relationship, and he detailed that relationship with Tasha K, and had, her best friend was going off and posting the receipts of her out there with this guy, and they had, meeting in different countries and things like that. So Yandy's hands are not clean too, but I wasn't mad at it though. Because Mandis was out here, two wrongs don't make a right, and two rights make a circle, if you ask me. But I just felt like he shouldn't have put her in that predicament to begin with, and he needs to address it publicly. All that, I don't care about public opinion. You embarrassed her, you need to speak on it. But great question. And thank you for checking in. Again, thank you for telling me that. I see your profile picture. You were beautiful as well. And thank you for supporting. I love when I get new supporters coming in on my lives and commenting. I really, really appreciate that. But yeah, great question. So Jock's family tragedy. It was, headlines in the Atlanta news that there was a fire where 3 children, 2 toddlers and an infant, lost their lives. And Jock was on his radio station at the time when it happened and talked about how that was his brother's children, and that his brother was trying to save the children and almost lost his life. And that, immediately after, there was no charges filed. Hey, Toria, thank you for checking in. There were no charges filed immediately, but soon thereafter, his brother was charged with child endangerment, and they were trying to, pin, what happened to these children on him. But I have to say, guys, immediately, I didn't know if he had more siblings or not, but we had seen his brother on the show previously struggling with drug addiction. And, according to Jock, he does say that the brother's system was clean. They, checked him. He didn't have any drugs or alcohol in his system. But even without that, whether he was on something or not, it was like, there's not, and I meant to look into it, to be honest, and I didn't get a chance, so I've been so busy. But I wanted to look into the story and understand why were the children left unattended, what took place there, how exactly, Tori, how did the fire start? I I also was saying, okay, I do see the mom of the children there supporting him and hoping that the brother gets out of jail. So is that a sign that he wasn't doing anything wrong? Where was she? Because she mentioned how now the house is quiet. They're not there in the morning when she normally, getting them ready for their day. So I really meant to look into that as to what happened with the fire, because it just wasn't adding up to me that these young children, it's not like they was one was a teenager or something that could be watching them. I was kind of thinking, why wouldn't somebody be charged with child endangerment? If it was me or you or one of you and our three children passed away and there was no explanation behind it or a fire happened, I don't understand. It wasn't all clicking for me. It really wasn't. So it's an uphill battle. They went to see a lawyer, and the lawyer talked about how, it's child endangerment for three children that lost their lives, unfortunately. And, may they rest in peace. But the bail, that's if he gets bail, and it could be anywhere from, $400 to $400,000. It's going to be a legal battle, it seems. So, like I said, the mother was there supporting for the bail hearing. So that I would think, I don't know, part of me would think if he did something wrong, she would be upset with him, but she was supporting. So I don't know. Let me see real quick though, if I could find anything that could give me more information, because I should have looked this up before I came on. Okay, the children ages were 4 years old, 1 year old, and 9 months. Were nieces and nephews, and succumbed to smoke inhalation despite rescue efforts. Let me just see, y'all, what else is here. The three children were pulled from a residence at the Country Oaks Apartments in Atlanta and rushed to Grady Memorial Hospital suffering from smoke inhalation. All three children did not survive despite life-saving efforts. The case of the fire remains under investigation, but firefighters believe it was electrical in nature. What's they're saying? Robertson, during his morning show, said he was hesitant to talk about the tragedy on air. So they're saying that it was electrical in nature. I'm still not understanding where the father was while they were there and, trying to get them out. Let me just read a little bit more and see. I know these articles are more so talking about young Jock and his feelings than what actually happened. I'm gonna check one more article real quick. Sorry, y'all. Around February 19th, they responded to the fire around 3:30 p.m. after receiving the 911 call. Said Atlanta Fire Rescue Chief said crews found fire and smoke coming from the second story apartment. Firefighters extinguished the flames and contained the fire to the apartment. Fire rescue said those inside had already made it out. Crews rendered aid at the scene to the young children before they were rushed to the hospital. The examiner's office said that the mother of the children confirmed their identities. Yeah, it's not really giving much. Fire officials believe the cause of the fire may have been electrical, but an investigation is taking place to determine what sparked the flames. Yeah, it's not really telling how did he get out, or I don't know. It's just something's not clicking there. And I don't want to point the finger, but something's not clicking for me. Right. If it's electrical, why was he charged? Jock said they just trying to pin this on somebody and blame it on somebody. Maybe there's some truth to that, but it's not clicking to me at all. So it says, not much more after that on the investigation or the outcome of the investigation. as far as like they're saying, it was electrical, but they're trying to figure out what sparked the flame. So I'm confused too. Tay Tay, is it Tay Tay Ty Ty? I be trying to make sure I say y'all names right. I'm confused too. And I'm just not going to jump on the bandwagon to let him free. I need some more information. So we'll see if they show us or give us more after the Bell hearing or what, but it's not making any sense. I will do some more digging, but like all of the articles more speak about young Jock and his mourning and him speaking on it on the morning show than it gives details of the fire. Maybe because it's ongoing. I'm not sure, but it happened in February and there's nothing recent provided. But yeah, I don't know. It was just weird. And then the mother's like, he gonna come home. He gonna come home. So I was just like, I'd have been mad as hell. Was she not there? So many questions, y'all. But I'm definitely, again, I don't want to point no fingers, but 2 + 2 ain't equaling 4 right now. Tay Tay, got it. No worries. Yeah, and Jock said that he almost lost his life trying to pull them out. But I just don't know. It came off to me. I don't know. It was just my perception. It kind of came off like, was he not there and got there and then tried to pull him out? And it's just not. I can't place my finger on it. I can't place my finger on it, Toria. But my gut, something didn't sit right with me in my gut listening to the story. So I need some more information. Yeah, normally they give more. They ain't giving nothing. I don't know if it's because it's children or what, but they're not giving much else. But I'll keep looking. If anything, y'all know I do a little green screen video and give y'all an update and tell you about it. I'll definitely look some more. But that meeting with the lawyer didn't seem promising. And then you know what else was strange? I ain't never heard. Maybe he didn't retain that lawyer. That was just like, that's his sister, always help him legally. But for the lawyer to tell him to have the brother retain a public defender and then go to trial, I was like, huh? In a case like this, I don't want no public defender nowhere near me. I need a lawyer. Okay? But maybe they meant to get, a public defender. Even for the bail hearing, you need a lawyer to kind of fight for you to get the bail. I wouldn't put that in the hands of a public defender. Was it just me? But that was a little strange too. Yeah, he may have been outside something. Yeah, it's just something in my gut didn't sit right with me. That public defender, I was like, for a case of 3 children passing away, you want a public defender? That didn't seem right. Tori, you the lawyer, you let me know. Tori said, my mom ran in the house and tried to save us and didn't know we was already out and the fireman had to go in and save her. Yeah, that's smoke inhalation. That should get up in you. It get up in you quick. So definitely need some more information. Sorry, you okay? So you know you the lawyer of the group. You said that was strange too. Yeah, I'm gonna keep following the story. Yeah, I don't know if it was the expenses of the lawyer and stuff like that. I don't know, but that was just I wouldn't want it. But we'll find out more about that. We end the episode with Mama D. She finally gets to meet Scrap Girlfriend and she meets her at an open house. She does sell houses, despite what Shakira had to say. Toria, you weren't on here earlier where I did say I've reached out to Shakira twice now because I need to understand her thought process here. I really need to understand how she went from getting pregnant through a threesome to thinking that she was gonna move to Atlanta and he's supposed to be giving all his money to her. He don't give all his money to the other ones. Did she not? I don't know. They all be thinking they different. They all be thinking they different, but a leopard don't change his spots. I always tell y'all, did Jay-Z not teach us anything? He said, you are who you are, player. You could try to change, but that's just the top layer. I always use that quote. Like, but she thought she was different. But I reached out because she's threatening online to release some receipts if he keep calling her a liar. Because he giving his little post to his girlfriend and saying how it's lies, but there's always truth behind the lies. So she said, "Keep calling me a liar. I'm gonna bring these receipts." So I hit up in the DM twice, girl. Hey, what's some receipts? What was y'all conversations like? Was y'all together before the threesome or something that you thought that you was gonna uproot yourself to Atlanta? So I reached out now. Y'all know they be scared to come up here and be honest with me. I don't know. I try to create a safe space, but an honest one. And I have questions. So we'll see what happens there. But I did reach out. After this episode, I was like, you know what? I need to understand. And all of these rants, I need to really understand. But and her beef with Brittany seems imaginary. The girl don't speak on her, don't ever post about her. She don't get involved. Scrappy wasn't Shakira's man. It's not like she stole her from him. She just be minding her business. Maybe she is using Scrappy to get her realtor business off the ground and sell more houses. Maybe she is selling bottles right now. Who are you to judge? Let's be honest. So I don't know. But so we all know Scrappy don't have no good credit or money, so we know he can't afford that. Something is up. Toria, listen, I'm so tired of Scrappy taking us to look for houses with every girl and don't never purchase. I'm so tired of it. He had Shakira out there looking at that 5, 6, 7 bed mansion, and she and all her pictures, she looking like she in the apartment. I don't know why he do this to them. And he looking at that house with with Brittany, even though she's supposed to be the realtor for it. He looking at that house like, oh yeah, this is nice. This would be perfect. No, brother. No. He was married to Bambi and they were renting their house and he was late on the payments. Like what's she really expecting here? I don't even believe he giving Brittany racks and giving her pennies. I don't believe that neither. I think she's selling her bottles in her houses and taking care of her children. She seems nice though. She seems homely. I said, poor girl don't know what she in for. She knows, she has to know, but she don't really know. So we always think we could change a man. We can't. Learned that. Okay? You can't. So I just want to walk through her brain a little bit. So let's see if she answers. Because if not, I'm gonna hit her ass up again. Because I want to know. So that girl not using Scrappy, maybe Scrappy using her for her credit. Not using her for her credit. I don't know if he's using for her credit, but I do feel like Scrappy has issues being alone. He always has to attach to a woman, and he's at least broken the cycle of bouncing back and forth between the same 3 women: Shay, Erica, Diamond, Bambi. 3 or 4 women. He kept circling, spinning the block. The pavement is wore down from him spinning the block. Okay, so he did at least break the circle and brought a new one in the realm, but he just struggles with being alone. And when he's not with anyone, all he was doing was getting drunk, getting on live, cursing us all out, cursing himself out, cursing Bambi out. He at least stopped that. He seems a little bit more peaceful with Brittany, but Leopard don't change his spot. So I do feel like he has there has to be some trauma. He talked about it before. I forget exactly what he said a long time ago, but he didn't grow up seeing that type of love is what I recall. Don't quote me, but because of his mom and her profession of pimping. So he he don't know what love really looks like. So there's some traumas there that he needs to heal first. but he's just gonna come in and wreck Britney's life. It's going good so far, though. It's going good so far. They're in Puerto Rico. They were in Puerto Rico. I don't know if they're still in Puerto Rico, but when he put his little lovely post up about her right before the episode aired, where Shakira said that he's still coming over and hunching on her. He made it his business that morning to put up his appreciation post and tell her how the people are lying on him, and that he appreciate her so much for putting together the birthday party that he had for his daughter that Shakira say she wasn't invited to, child. So he was right on cue. He giving Kirk vibes. Y'all know Kirk was doing that, right? Remember when shit was thick with Jasmine? It was like every Tuesday, like clockwork. Here come an appreciation post for Rashida. So he doing the same thing. So, but hurt people. So Brittany, watch out. Yeah, it is her fault. It is her fault. That's why I told you I need to walk through her mind, Tori. I do think she's still spreading open. Even Mama D said so. Why you keep doing it? Like you keep letting them come over. So who you want to feel sorry for you? You up here telling how you keep it pee. You flipping around on it, spinning around on it. Hell, I'll be coming over there too. What you want from him? So yeah, I'm telling you, girl. I just don't know. But after that, Ashely and Zane. Ashely wants to get her boobs done. I'm so sick of them on this show. But she wants to get her boobs done, and Zane is telling her, he's being a typical man. He thinks that he's being loving, loving and supportive, and telling, I don't never say nothing about your boob. I love when I'm sucking on. Do I say they droop? I don't never say that. Why you want to change yourself? Why you want to look like porn stars, whatever he was saying. And it's like, bro, but that's the same ones that you be out here hanging on and getting kicked out of the house for. But now she want to get a couple CCs in her boobs and you flipping out. But that's what I don't get. I get men say like, oh, but that's not the type of woman I want to bring home. Why? The one you got home, you doing dirty. So if she want to get some boobs, she gonna get some boobs. So I don't even care about them, to be honest. No storyline. That's their storyline. Actually wanting boobs and something about she was saying she gonna do to her lines in her face and all this other crazy stuff. I don't know. Not crazy, because her body, her choice. Do what you want to do. But the boob part wasn't crazy. But I didn't understand what she was trying to do up here. We all got that thing. How you gonna get rid of that? You gonna put some Botox in it? But he was saying it like he was gonna cut and pull it back or something. I don't know. But boo, I don't know why they're on this show. I'd rather have Amy back and figure out what's going on with her marriage that she's trying to hide from us after she was that on the internet. I want to know more about that. So, yeah, and then at the end of the episode, Jock went to court, and we'll hear more on the next episode about his brother's bond and maybe a little bit more information about the case. But I can't wait. Did y'all see the previews? We gonna get into. I told before y'all, some of y'all came in a little late, but it look like we gonna start getting into the whole Yandy and this London trainer and her trying to cry in her confessionals now too. I wants to get into that. So it looks like we are creeping up and it's starting to get better and better every episode. So I'm here for it, y'all. I am dog tired though. There's so many shows. Some shows they don't make it to the podcast, but I am watching, like The Valley. That's wrapping up. I was watching, like, Tuesday is crazy. The Valley, Tamar's Double Life. If y'all not watching Tamar's Double Life, you are missing out on the funniest shit I ever seen in my life. I keep telling y'all, I know a lot of y'all love Tammy's show, but Tamar Double Life, I be hollering, y'all, like hollering. If you need a good laugh, that is your show. Like, Atlanta is not a real place with the type of scams that these people be running. I don't even know if it's real. Some of it be like, this gotta be fake. The craziest that it gets. But Tamar Double Life, I'm watching. The Valley's wrapping up. I love Beyond the Gates. That's not reality TV, but it's soap opera. I watch that as well. I love it. So I'm, knee deep in that every single night. Love and Hip Hop. all of the Real Housewives. Yes, I'm watching Miami and OC. I am recapping those. I will be back sometime tomorrow. I'm gonna try to squeeze it in somehow. But I will make sure you guys get a recap of Real Housewives in Miami this week, because the way they doing Gertie is crazy. Real Housewives of Miami, they had their reunion taping today. The seating chart is up on Instagram, Facebook for you guys to check out. I don't know how Gertie is not in the first seat and this new girl is in the first seat over Chihuahua Rockwalla. It must be something later in the season. That's all I keep telling myself. It got to be something that's left in the season that we haven't seen, that this new girl gets the first seat. That's insane. That's insane when everybody's storyline is hating on Gertie right now. But Real Housewives of Miami, Real Housewives of OC, new episode tonight. I am watching that, and we'll recap that. Love and Marriage Huntsville. Y'all know the rundown. Y'all know. Set your alerts. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, Reality 2876. It's in the link in my bio on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. And follow me for all the news. So if you want to see the breakdown, I went over it earlier in the episode. If you missed it, about Erica Banks' arrest, it's on my page. The Real Housewives of Miami seating chart, that's up. All of the trending reality news. I told you guys Vanderpump Rules. Looks like season 12, the reboot, will be back October 29th. I Googled that and found that in the episode guide. So yes, October 29th, that comes back. So yeah, if you want to get your reality news, all you got to do is hit that follow button, reality_recap on Instagram, Facebook, and reality_recap 2 on TikTok. That is my show, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed my recap. Again, hit those likes, hit those hearts. I will be back. Set your alerts for Real Housewives of Miami and OC recap. And like I say before I end all my lives, reality TV stars are humans too. Let's not forget that. It's your girl B with Reality Recap. Have a great Friday, Junior. Peace.